you just want to help, I guess, others, you know, as you're going down the path. And so I think for me, talking to other parents along the way, as I kind of think back, that's what helped me kind of navigate the system, was having other parents that were probably had already been through where I was. And they kind of gave me guidance or said, hey, check this out or check that out. And just even with IEPs during when she was younger or going through school, I always had like an advocate to go with me because you miss so much stuff during meetings and so forth. So, but yeah, and so as far as back to the benefits part, I just remember her going through school, and then like her junior year, I think Voc Rehab comes to visit. And so I didn't know what that was. She brought home a brochure and I was like, I don't know what this is. And I get pretty anxious when it comes to things like that, just not knowing. And I had really had no idea. And so I went to the meeting with her. Sometimes they don't even have a parent there. You know, they just meet with the student. And so who knows if that information gets even taken home or anything. But I would say Voc Rehab for her, and then my friend, him knowing kind of the ways to advocate and so forth, saying, you know, you can't start early enough with that. You know, waiting till their junior or senior year is kind of too late for someone. And so meeting with Candace and Voc Rehab counselor and asking that they start a little bit sooner with, I didn't know exactly if she was going to go to college and graduate and so forth. Of course, that's what I had always hoped for, but it's ultimately what she, you know, wants to do. And she always spoke about wanting to be a teacher, because she loves school so much, wanting to be a teacher. And so just trying to figure that out. But Voc Rehab kind of helped early on. And you go one of two ways. Either they help with school or they help with going to work. Well, I think I had already helped Candace as far as going to work stuff goes with working, didn't we? She was working at Paradise Park. So she was fine as far as work stuff goes, I guess, and you wanted to do school, right? Yeah. So we kind of went down that path. And it is also, it depends on the person that you encounter. So it just so happens her Voc Rehab counselor was great, or has been great. Yeah. And so even when there wasn't a way, we just kept looking to find a way. And so I think that's what's really important along the path, I guess.
Pretty much had to navigate that myself. So it's been a long road and a long, challenging struggle, to be quite honest. And I'm still trying to figure it out, because as I'm making a transition from Propel to the next step, I'm still trying to figure that out for myself. So I do have other support people that help me with the like stuff I need to know, like SSI and stuff like that, and SSDI and the Medicaid and all that.
Okay.
But like, cause I really do have good friends, and they were they have been in my corner trying to help me with that stuff, and I can't talk about them though. But like, cause that's private and personal. So, but like, you know, so but they have been helping me navigate the next step.
Are you tired of having to communicate over and over the message that you are capable and that you can, that your disability does not define your limits? Is that?
Yeah, it's like I'm too disabled. I'm too disabled for most things, but I'm too disabled for the disabled community.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like I'm the person that's in the middle.
So you're okay. Yes.
I'm the person that's in the middle, and there's no middle ground for like services. There needs to be a middle ground for services, and I understand the bureaucracy of it all, but there's no middle ground for services. There needs to be a middle ground. You don't need to be like extreme one way and extreme the other way. There needs to be middle.
Let me ask you then, because you have this really kind of special perspective as both a parent and a professional in this world, what's been your experience trying to navigate the benefit system? Like, how easy or difficult has it been for you to get your daughter the services she needs? I'm thinking, because this training is geared towards support coordinators, new support coordinators who are kind of inexperienced. And so just from a parent perspective, what's been your experience kind of dealing with this whole complicated world?
Especially when somebody's high functioning autism like my daughter is, you don't necessarily pick up on it right away. So they often get misdiagnosed as as a oppositional defiant disorder, or they'll get diagnosed as ADHD. I mean, sometimes it's comorbid, but a lot of times they're misdiagnosed early on. So they don't get the right interventions, and then they're still struggling with school. And then you really actually have to fight very hard. And it depends where where you are in the country, because there's other states that won't do the testing in the schools. So you would have to go through medical providers, and if you're struggling with having the medical providers in the first place, like for a while I was on Medicaid, I was going through Samuel Rogers. And although they really wanted to help, they didn't have any child psychologists.
Okay.
There was a psychiatrist that would see her, and he would do the best he could, but he really didn't have enough knowledge as far as child psychology to be able to diagnose her.
I see.
Because her, with hers being high functioning autism, there's a lot of context where she acts okay. But it would be like she has a huge meltdown anytime there's something related to math. Because I don't know if she has dyscalculia or anything, but I would have to advocate for her to get tested through the schools, which luckily in Missouri, we can go that route to have some testing in the schools. And here in Missouri, we also have the paraprofessionals, and a lot of the paraprofessionals in the special education system are also trained in behavioral analysis.